It's been 10 years.
Kenobi is officially releasing on May 27th, so here's everything that you need to know before you watch it. Numero uno, what is the show about? Disney has been extremely quiet in giving us any details about the show. All we know is the premise. Essentially, Jedi Master Obi Wan Kenobi is stuck during his exile on Tatooine protecting a young Luke Skywalker, while also telling the story of how he evaded the Empire's elite Jedi hunters known as the Inquisitors. We're going to get the return of major characters across different media like the movies and the TV shows. From the trailers, we already know that we are going to get at least one encounter with bounty hunters, Inquisitors, and of course, Big Papa himself, Darth Vader. Numero dos, where exactly does this take place timeline-wise? This show is going to be set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. Anakin Skywalker himself turned into Darth Vader around 19 BBY, aka before the Battle of Yavin, which means that our boy Darth Vader is roughly 32 years old at the start of this show. I get it, math is hard, but what this truly means is that we are going to get peak Anakin Skywalker as Darth Vader, searching for his former master by any means necessary. Another thing that pops to mind is Kenobi's state of mind at this specific point in the timeline. Remember, Obi-Wan made a vow to protect Anakin and Padme's twins, Luke and Leia, with the help of Yoda and Senator Organa, of course. The last thing we saw in Revenge of the Sith was obviously Obi-Wan retiring to his exile in Tatooine. By the time that we see Ben again in Rebels and in A New Hope, he's had decades to figure out and actually process everything that he went through the Clone Wars. Many Jedi years to meditate upon his past and his previous decisions. But from what we've seen, this version of Obi-Wan is still plagued by the ghosts of his past. Ewan McGregor's version is still dealing with some level of PTSD, and the past is quickly catching up to him. Familia, speaking about the past, number 3, Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor are returning to their iconic roles. Roughly 15 years after the release of Revenge of the Sith, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen are making their triumphant return to the franchise. I'm personally super excited to see Hayden again for a multitude of reasons. Critics and fans were extremely critical of his performance during the days that the prequel trilogy was going around. So it's nice to see him and Ewan giving their thoughts about that experience and what this second shot at the characters means to them in the Vanity Fair interviews. This is also great for the overall fandom because this show is going to cover in live action the gaps that the Clone Wars TV show and the Rebels animated show filled. Going even further on that train, we've already been confirmed that there are going to be Clone Wars flashbacks in this show. So we could see some adaptation of some things that we saw in the Clone Wars TV show, aka Ahsoka or Anakin developing a relationship with each other in live action, which means this could be the first time that we get to see Hayden cover the many adventures that he had with Obi-Wan during that specific and tumultuous time in the Republic's history. And if you're feeling like, I don't really know if I want to see that, that is really important because it sets up Anakin as a compelling character just because of an animated TV show. I am an absolute god at connections because at number 4, we have the connections to the animated media. So as you can tell by now, the return of all of these characters means that there's going to be plenty of connections and etched webs in storytelling through the animated shows. Rupert Friend, for example, who's been featured prominently in the show Homeland, will be taking on a pivotal role during the show. The actor is going to be portraying the first live-action adaptation of a character known as the Grand Inquisitor, which, if you've seen the shows, has only been portrayed so far in animated shows like the Clone Wars and Rebels. For those of you who may not be familiar with the Grand Inquisitor, he is a member of the Pauwan species. They have gray skin, sunken eyes, and obviously super sharp teeth. A very vocal minority of fans were really annoyed at how the design was looking in the live action show, but hey, we are adapting a cartoon character. You gotta give it some time. And from getting a solid look through the on-set pictures and obviously the Vanity Fair shoot, he doesn't look that bad. Besides the looks, he is a formidable foe because Darth Vader himself tasked him with finding and executing all of the remaining Jedi across the galaxy. So it looks like Obi-Wan is going to have some major confrontations ahead. We were also told that the Grand Inquisitor will have help, mainly the fifth brother and Reva. The fifth brother is a villain that first came alive in Star Wars Rebels, and then Reva is a brand new character to the franchise. They are being played respectively by Sung Kang, who was in the Fast and Furious franchise, and Moses Ingram, who was in The Queen's Gambit. So at number 5, we are mixing the old and the new. Starting off with the score, John Williams, for example, is coming back for his final Star Wars project because he never got a chance to score a theme song for Obi Wan Kenobi. So this means he's going to be collaborating on the show, but the main scoring of the entire project is going to be done by Natalie Holt, who was very famous for doing the work on Loki. Okay, now that you know the basic structure of the show, here's everything that you have to see before May 27th. If you're a newbie or you don't have a lot of time to get caught up in the series, the bare minimum that you have to see is the prequel trilogy, aka The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. If you want a little bit of further context, but you don't have time to delve into all of the, TV shows, just watch Rogue One and the original trilogy, Episode 4, A New Hope, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. That way you'll have the entire history of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan collected in all one fell swoop. And then if you want to get into the big brain 200 IQ era of Star Wars, all you have to do is sit through 7 seasons of Clone Wars and Rebels. That way you'll have instant knowledge of every single reference, every single Easter egg that you're going to see on the screen. Another cool thing that we have to mention is that this show is going to be 6 episodes long, and longtime Star Wars producer Kathleen Kennedy officially confirmed that this show is going to have a more upbeat tone than was originally planned. Apparently this thing was going to get dark real quick, but then again, boom, you're ready for the rematch of the century. Now you're ready to watch the Kenobi show. So make sure that you like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel with the notification bells on so you can get instant notice for whenever I go live or whenever I post a video. Mi pana, I'm gonna be covering every single episode of the Kenobi show on this channel, so make sure that you stick around. And as always, crack a smile, just ride the wave, and I'll see you on the next one. Blow!